Hello there everyone, it's Kathy with Paper Phenomenon. So we're going to continue working on moving parts page folios. Remember, these are the page folios, the 12 by 12 double page layouts that are interactive. All right, remember that? So we're working on the Mother's Day version, which is style 2, and we're going to continue matting. All right, so we're using the Birds of a Feather collection 1 and 2 because there's 2 of them. Birds of a Feather, and again, Mother's Day version. Let's go through the matting process. Everything's turning out really, really beautiful. I hope you enjoy it. Let's take a look. All right, so this is where we left off. I haven't touched a thing. So we're using the Birds of a Feather collection 1 and 2. Birds of a Feather 1, Birds of a Feather 2. Years ago when I started making paper collections, I used to do smaller paper collections. So that's why I have 1 and 2. Now I do ginormous ones. So Birds of a Feather 1 and 2. You guys were asking me yesterday about the larger embellishments. So yes, Jane did save a file. She's going to add this to the project folder. No additional cost, guys. This file will be in the project folder for you all in Birds of a Feather 1 and 2. If you want to just print and cut, you don't have to resize anything. She already resized it for us. So thank you, Jane. All right, so let's continue matting. If you're interested in making this project, you will find the link to this project in the description box below, links to the paper collection, all that good stuff. All right, so let's continue with the matting. So before we go any further, I am going to put my magnets in place because I tend to get very excited about matting and then I forget that I have to put magnets down. Don't forget that the P3 tape is in stock and my Maker Basics tape, which is the 3/8 inch and 1/4 inch double-sided tape, guys. This is good stuff. Do not forget. I will link you in the description box below as well. So I'm going to be using my magnets. With my magnets, you get your magnet and what I call a disc. All right, and that's so you don't have to use 2 magnets. You just use 1 magnet and a disc. Okay, it reduces on the bulk and it saves you on magnets, right? If you purchase my magnets before, I think it was April 10th that I released the video, my discs, I was not able to get these discs anymore, but I finally got them back in. So my magnets are coming now with the discs again. All right. So if you purchased them months ago or even last month, there were no discs in there. So the page description doesn't even say that there are discs because I wasn't sure if I could get them or not. All right. But I do have the discs now and there is no extra charge for these discs. The magnets are still priced at their price. So you get the magnet and the disc. If you're watching this video April 20th, you get magnets. April 20th, 2024, you get magnet and disc. Okay, both. All right, so for sure, I'm going to have a magnet here. And I feel like here I'm going to need magnet to magnet. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I need good power here because I want to go through multiple layers. I want this to stay down. All right. And I want it to stay down whether it is, let's see, here. So if it's on the inside, it's going to go through multiple layers. I can't decide if I want that flap on the inside or the outside. So I'm going to put magnet here. All right. And I'm going to get my tape. And I'm using the 1/4 inch for this because that's all I really need for this, 1/4 inch. But if you have the 3/8 inch, of course, you can use the 3/8 inch. Doesn't matter, whichever size you have, guys. All right. Just get a little piece of that. And I'm going to put it up here where Now I'm going to put it at by the pocket, because if you put it up here, when you slip things inside the pocket, you'll lose magnet power. So put it down here by the pocket. Hopefully that should work. And then again, another magnet on the other side. Right there. And again, you want to use magnet to magnet if you think that you need more magnet power. And then what you want to do is, I should just take 2 magnets out, right? See that? And then over here, put it right there, wherever it's going to stick. So I know it's going to go like that, and I want it to be nice and straight, so I got to be careful. Oh, it keeps on sticking. So with this one, I have to do what I call a magnet stamp. So I take my glue and I hit it with a little bit of glue, so then I can press down and I get an exact position as to where my magnet should go. Okay, so that's what I call my magnet stamp. And now tape just to secure it. Careful your tape doesn't go over the edge of the pocket, otherwise you'll see the tape when you mat. And now this is done. Okay, and now this one is easy. See that? You don't need to do a magnet stamp. And then here. All right, so that is done. So these are secure. Now we need one here. Now this one is also tricky, because if I put items in here, whatever I put in, if I put the magnet here, whatever I put in the pocket, I'll lose magnet power. All right, so for this one, I can do magnet. These magnets, when you have other metal things, they're just so unruly. Look at this. It's so ridiculous on your desk. You're like wrestling with magnets. I get these little containers, by the way, on Amazon. You can just search for small plastic containers and these will come up. Like 2-inch plastic containers and these little with lids and little containers like this, all sorts of them will come up. These are plastic. They're less expensive than the mini acrylic ones that come up, which I love, but I just don't see the need to spend all that money just because they're acrylic and beautifully see-through. So I just get the plastic. Although acrylic is plastic, but you know what I mean. At least I think it is. Now, I need magnet stamp for here to get it in the right position. And there it is, and I see it. And now I'm going to put a little tape to secure it, like so. Okay, and that will stick. Now, I do not like that it's popping up here. I do not like that. This one's popping up, but I'm planning to put something here. So I am going to put another magnet here, because at least I'll have this one and this one to kind of keep everything nice and secure. Okay, so I'll have double power. We'll see how it works out when I put something in it. I don't like it sticking up there. My 4x6 will be, let's see. Oh, it may clear it, guys. It just may clear it. We'll see. I'm not sure. I won't know until I mat everything. I'm just going to hit it with another magnet. I don't mind using another magnet. And this one I will do here. See, I'm putting that one down first because that one, that's where I want it. I don't want it anywhere else, right? The other side, it really doesn't matter where it's going to go. I'll put this one down, hit it with a little bit of glue, and then do that. And then stick it down on this side. And I'll move my project over so you can see it in just a minute. And again, I'm doing magnet to magnet because I'm going to have items, photo mats and things in the pocket, and I need a little bit more power. All All right, I don't want to lose any of that magnet power. So this works out really, really nice. Now this one, I will say, annoys me quite a bit. So see, if I move this over, I lose the magnet power here. So I'm not sure if I want this on the inside or the outside. So that will be determined once I mat. All right, so I can also put another set of magnets here on the inside just to keep this in place. Because I can't help myself, guys. Because I don't want it sticking up. Even if I put something in the pocket, hopefully I'll be able to get at least a little magnet power there to keep things secure. Okay. Right there, and then I'm going to go here, and I think I'm going to put this one, move that flap out of the way when you're going to do this. I'm going to do this one on the inside of the flaps. And you need magnet stamp. Okay, magnet stamp. Just a little bit of glue is all you need. You don't need a lot, okay? And then put that there, and this one here. And secure it with some tape. Now remember, you can get these in my shop, and they come with the discs. So eventually, you will more than likely have extra discs if you use magnet to magnet, right? You won't use the disc all the time, so you'll never run out of discs. I love that. That makes me happy. Okay, so magnets are done on that side. We're gonna do, I need another magnet here to hold, well, actually I don't think I do. I think it'll be fine. So we'll see. We'll do that later. Let's move these out of the way for now. They're annoying me. And now here, what do we need here? I need magnets here. So this we can do disc and magnet because there's not going to be a lot of, there's just going to be photo in here. Okay. So you just can choose where you want the magnet. I'd rather have the magnet on the inside. All right. So one there. And one down here. And secure it with some tape. And some more tape. And I may move that just a little bit higher. Ah, darn it. Some good tape, bro. Some good tape. Oh my God. Nobody look at that. Nobody look. I tell you. If I wanted that to happen, it won't happen. It's just, it is what it is. All right, let's do it again. Because if you put it too low, I always like to give you the why, right? If you put it too low, it's not going to stay flush. They're going to kind of pop up the way this one did here. You don't want that. All right, see that? So these work so well. I love these discs, and they are flat, which is what is pretty amazing, guys. I mean, they're wafer thin, wafer thin. All right, so magnets are in place. Right now I have the freedom to do what I want. Okay, so there's that. Remember, we have this little number over here. Well, this gets quite tight in there because of the magnet power. So let's take that out for now so I can just mat. All right, I'm definitely keeping this, so I'm going to glue it down. All right, so let's go ahead and glue our borders down. And if you missed this, that's in part 1 of Moving Parts Page Folio Style 2. All right. Remember, this is Style 2, and I have quite a bit of glue on here, so I'm going to get quite a bit of oozing. And I'm not inking for reasons. It has nothing to do with aesthetics. It has to do with my shoulder. But of course, if you want to ink, please, if you love inking, by all means, go for it. Okay, I personally love the inking. I just can't do it. It messes me up pretty bad. So I cannot. All right, so then right here, matting, matting, matting. This striped paper is so beautiful. I love it. Love, love, love. And then the side piece right here. I just absolutely love matting. It's so relaxing to me. And I take my time with it. I really don't rush. You know, if it doesn't come to me, I'll step away for it for a while and then come back to it. Or if you guys have been with me for a while, you know that I flip and I flap all over the place. I don't mat in any specific order. Like if I don't know what I'm going to do out here, I will go to the inside of it and just mat whichever way speaks to me, right? Whichever way I'm feeling. So there is no hard and fast rules, you know, with how you should mat, I guess. You can do whatever you want. Whatever works for you guys. Right, so I'm using glue. You can use double-sided tape if you want. That is also a personal preference. I love my double-sided tape for construction and for certain parts of matting. It depends if I'm worried about my paper warping, if I'm worried if my page is going to be too stiff. I take all that into consideration depending on, you know, what I'm matting. I may switch from glue to tape. But my personal preference, if I had all the time in the world in these videos and I could keep you guys watching through the end of the video, I would probably use tape. But can you imagine me taping everything up? Oh my gosh, I'd lose you all. I would lose you all. So I use the glue to be more speedy. Okay, that looks great. For this piece, we're going to do a signature cut so that we can have an insertion point here. Now I will tell you, this was a little tricky with this piece here. So I think I'm just going to lose that piece and do my signature cut just here. All right, so let's do that. Let me cover up this glue because I'm not going to use it for a few minutes and then it'll dry up. And if you're not familiar, if you're unfamiliar with a signature cut, it is the following. Hold on, let me make some more space. Let's move this out of the way. Signature cuts. This is an excellent technique that you want to use whenever you're matting. The paper will tell you if you should make a signature cut or not. And what that means is you're going to cut into the design of the paper so that you can use it for a photo. As opposed, let's pretend this is a photo. As opposed to putting a photo like this and having only the border show, you create a signature cut which will allow you to still see the beautiful image on the paper and put a photo there without covering up the beautiful image. This paper right here is a better example of when a signature cut really works well. I mean, this is gorgeous, yes, but you can cover this up and it's not the end of the world, right? You still see some of the pretty florals, etc. This, you cover it up and it's the end of the world, people. I mean, why would you want to cover this up, right? So this would be another great example of when you would do a signature cut. I'm not using this paper right now in this particular project, but I'm using this one. And again, the project that I'm working on where I'm going to use a signature cut, if you're interested, is the Moving Parts Folio, Page Folio Style 2. All right, so this is the project I will be using this particular signature cut on. And this paper collection is Birds of a Feather, 1, I believe. 1 or 2. They will both be linked down below. Okay, Birds of a Feather 1 and 2. So let's do it. You're going to need a knife. All right, you want to use a sharp knife. You can use a X-Acto knife, whatever knife. You can use scissors if you want. So for a good signature cut, if you need a rule of thumb, all right, because these rules are not, they're fast, right? They're hard and fast rules, I guess, as I should say. You can take this and spin this rule however you need to spin it to create a signature cut that's going to work for you. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your knife, and for me, I like to cut at least, at a minimum, 1/4 of an inch away from the edge is where I like to start it. 1/2 inch is even better, but sometimes 1/2 inch is too much, right? So 1/4 inch, no less than 1/4 inch. So I'm going to start my signature cut right here, and I'm going to cut around the image that I do not want to cover with the photo. All right, so you cut, 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 cut. Like so. And this takes a little bit of time depending on how intricate the image is. You can choose to cut as much or as little of the image that you want. Okay, it's much or as little. Not, you know, there is no rule here. You can do whatever you want. Right? In this case, I'm going to cut as much of this image as I possibly can. I like to keep as much of it. I absolutely adore tulips. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep as much as I can. So I'm following the image, right? Whatever is super bright. I'm not going to cut into here. So I'm going to kind of skip over to this leaf over here. And cut around there. I'm not going to do, see, I'm not going to go all the way down here. I'm going to just go kind of, you know, low, and then cut over here into the tulip. So these are decisions that you have to make, okay? Depends how intricate you want to get with your cut. You see this little bit of green here, right there? I'm not going to cut up there. I'm not. I'm going to skip it and just go around the tulip. Right here, there's all sorts of intricate leaves. So I'm going to cut just a bit of the detail, not a lot. I'm not going to go all the way down to this purple tulip, right? Because what's going to happen, I'm going to cut a little bit thick here. What's going to happen, these are going to get beat up really bad with whatever you're putting into the pocket. Okay, so you got to be careful. I'm going to come down here to this tulip right here. So you have to evaluate what you're cutting. See this? I'm not going to cut all of that. I'm going to do the leaf because this leaf is pretty thick, right? And then I'm going to cut around this red image here because all of this is too much. It's just too much work for me. It's not worth it to me. So you have to pick and choose what is worth it to you, what you want in the image. See, cutting around this little flower here is not important to me, so I'm going to stop, bring it over, and stop 1/4 inch away from the edge. So here's my signature cut. When I put something into this opening, so you're not going to see this part of it. However, this would be, right? You would cover all that up. When you make a signature cut, you get this opportunity. Look at that. So your photo becomes a part of the image. It's just beautiful. So whenever you have beautiful images on a piece of scrapbooking paper and you're like, how am I going to cover this with a photo? You don't have to. You make a signature cut. And then you have this opportunity. So just so many opportunities. So now how do you glue this down? All right, so this, you want to treat it as a pocket, right? So when you glue a pocket down, you need an entry point, right? So this is our entry point. So you don't want to glue there, right? So you want to glue around the perimeter of the frame. so that you can have your entry point. I also like to glue above the entry point so all of these bits are down and I don't have to worry about them catching on anything, right? So first let's go around the perimeter. This is the first thing you want to do, right? Around the perimeter, if it works for you, right? Because it may not work for you. And then I like to go above the entry point to secure everything into place so that nothing is catching. And let's in this case, so this project I use a few magnets, okay, and you can watch the videos of this project if you're just watching the top 10 matting ideas, okay. Again, if you're watching this on top 10 matting ideas, this project is moving parts. I can't think and glue at the same time. Moving Parts Page Folio Style 2. It'll be linked in the description box. If you're actually watching this on Moving Parts Page Folio Style 2, then you're here already, right? So great. Right, so you can take a piece of paper and put it into the pocket or the insertion point. Right, so it's a little tricky initially until you train the paper to do what you want it to do, and press down, right? So you can get that glue where you want it to be. You want it to be secure. Okay, and there you have it. You have made a signature cut. Now listen, I have been doing this forever, okay? And it's just a beautiful, beautiful tip or technique to have to learn so that you can have it in your matting guidebook, right? Like you should have, these are the techniques I like to use when I'm matting. They're listed for you here in your top 10 matting ideas and they're just perfection, okay? So you can always use these when you're matting. So if you get stuck, you can look at your top 10 ideas and say, all right, I'm gonna do signature cuts. Where can I make a signature cut? And that'll help break the brain fog, perhaps, if you're having a hard time with your matting. All right, so there you go. So now you're going to take this out, and you'll see that what's lifted is the signature cut. See, it becomes so much easier if you just glue down the above the cut, okay? Above the cut. And this could use a little bit of glue right here. So I'm going to lift it, see that? Peel it back up. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue under here just to secure that, because it's just going to make it easier to reveal the signature cut. So just glue it down like that. If you're afraid that you're going to have oozing, you can use a piece of parchment paper to do this step, you know, so that this doesn't glue down along with the piece you're trying to glue down, right? You can always use parchment right here. And that's it. All right, I will see you in the next video for top 10 matting ideas. This is signature cut. All right, guys, so this is nice and dry, okay, nice and dry. And we've got the magnet there. It's perfectly secure with the tape. Everything is just perfection. So you see now I have the perfect lift that I need because I glued everything above the cut down. Okay, and notice that you don't even miss this, right? You don't even miss it once you get that photo in there, because look at all of the pretty things you have to look at, right? All of the pretty things. Now, this space was for a 5x7, right? 5x7. But because I did a signature cut and I wanted to keep all the pretty paper there, it is now really a 4x6. So if you have a 5x7 that you want to use in this space, then no worries, right? You can still use this for a 5x7, and you want to pick a piece of pattern paper that you don't mind covering up, All right, so it just works perfectly. All right, so next up, we're gonna mat around yet another border. All right, so remember, this is a double page layout, so we want to treat this as one, okay? We shall see how that works out. When you open this side, you get this really large area for matting, and that's really nice. But when you open this side, oh, I forgot. I was like, uh-oh, what happened here? When you open this side, you get, this is you're in here, okay? So the right-hand side has an extra opening, this large opening. The left-hand side, the opening is here, okay? Right here. So you don't have this opening. Hopefully that's making sense. So here you have two smaller openings right here, right? And then here you have one opening. Here, this is more, kind of gatefold, if you will, right? Like so. All right, so having said that, I'm going to mat this side first because I've got top and bottom here to mat. And I have to decide if I'm going to mat top and bottom here, bring it across the pocket, or if I'm going to do something else with this pocket. Those are decisions I must make, and I love these decisions. So what are we going to do? We're going to take this one step at a time. All right? So I know top and bottom here is what's happening, and it's getting serious in this craft desk because I've got two rulers out. It's serious when you got two rulers. All right? So let's do it, guys. So I'm going to get a quick measurement, top and bottom, and here I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch. Here I'm going to do 1 inch. All right, so let me cut my paper. All right, so let's do it. And I say 3/4 of an inch, but listen, I may give myself a little bit more because that's what I do. I'd rather have a little bit more and have to trim it off with a ruler or with my trimmer than to ruin the piece, right? I'm having some trouble here. I can't seem to get organized in this space. I'm not sure why this is happening to me today. I'm not sure, but anyway, you guys really don't need to see the cutting, I guess, so maybe that's what it is. I'm trying to get everything in the camera, and that's just not going to work right now. All right, so I'm going to cut this at 10. You want to measure. I don't always give out matting measurements, so I'm kind of doing pretty good right now, but I will not give it out in another, in the next section, because I don't give out matting measurements. The rule of thumb for matting is you measure the space you want to mat, that you want to cover with the pattern paper, and then you cut your pattern paper 1/4 of an inch smaller than the area you are matting, okay? So this is 5 by 7, let's say, right? So you cut your mat at 6 3/4 inches by 4 3/4 inches. You go under by 1/4 of an inch, okay? That is the rule of thumb. So just in case I don't say a measurement, because it will happen, that's the rule. Look at that, how beautiful. Oh boy, that is gorgeous. All right, so I'm gonna mat, I think I'm gonna mat this whole thing. I think so. I think I'm gonna mat the whole thing, guys, because I think I'm gonna like that. All right, so I'm gonna cut this down to, all I need is 6 inches. So another rule of thumb is to mat inside of a pocket, you only want to go inside the pocket about 1/4 of an inch, okay? No more than that. It's unnecessary to mat anything more inside of a pocket, okay? Just unnecessary, guys. Okay, so let's move this over just ever so slightly. Let's open this up and let's mat. That's what that's going to look like. Oh my goodness! So here, because we glued the pocket down, we have a choice of matting. You can mat around these three areas here like we did here, or you can mat here and then here, okay? And we have this paper over here. So let's take a look. I can't remember what I did with the other. Oh, here's the other side of this paper. We have this little bird here, right? That we can absolutely incorporate into these two right here. Right, and that'll give us some continuity here. We can put this bird on the inside, right, and then whatever's here we can put a loose photo mat in there as opposed to a stationary photo, right? Gosh, decisions. Or we can put this bird here on this pocket because it's going to stay here. And those tulips to the top. And I'm going to show you another signature cut, guys. Okay, are you ready for this, my friends? So this is matting off the page or off the pocket. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm going to use this here. Hang on, people. Decisions. Or I can use part of this here, right, to just continue with that floral. I can't because I'm going to cut the bird off. I don't want to cut the bird off. No, don't want to cut the head of the bird off. Or I can use the tulip and half of the bird. It looks like it's flying off the pocket. Oh, anyway. I'm going to use this butterfly here. See how I'm stuck there? I'm not going to stay stuck there. I am going to move on to something else because I can also use this here, cut this bird out so it's kind of flying over to the other page, but I can still, boom, open. So this paper gives me so many possibilities, which is not good, right? All right, so as opposed to matting around this border like this, I'm going to go two ways. I'm going to do two vertical cuts, and I'm going to measure. And this measurement here, I'm going to cut exactly to the size I need, not a quarter. I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch under this measurement, okay? And I'm giving you this measurement because it's important. So what you want to do when you're doing two mats, two pieces of paper that you want it to look like one, you want to butt it up against the edge. And then, of course, you always want that 1/8 of an inch around on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my paper to the size I need. And in my case is slightly under 1 inch, slightly. Okay? And then by the height, right? So this is going to go here. Okay? Right there. Look at that. Look at that. And then we're going to cut the other side. We're measuring the pocket right to the edge of this. And remember, it's going to go on the inside. So it's going to go right to the 1/8 of an inch away. And then we're going to go all the way to the right at the fold. As close to the fold as we can get without it obstructing the closing of the flap. All right, so let's do that. And I cut on this side, so I'm going to keep on this way. This paper is so gorgeous. And I removed from the bottom, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Did I move from the bottom? Oh, yeah, from the bottom. Okay, so from the bottom. I don't know which is the bottom, folks. Ah, here it is. I think. Let me see. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. I would like to match up. Here, this butterfly. Where is this little... This yellow one seems to be the biggest thing. Nope, 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 nope. Where are you, yellow butterfly? This one, where are you? Where are you? No match there. No match there. Why am I not seeing this? Why is this being difficult for me? Oh, maybe I cut from the wrong side. It's possible that I cut from the wrong side. Yep, I cut from the wrong side. This is the side I need. Okay. So why can I not match that up? And that's not absolutely necessary, but I want to go through the trouble of matching it up. I do. All right, so I'm cutting from the bottom. Okay. Absolutely, it is worth it to me to do this. Look at that. So you're going to have a very slight gap, but I think it's perfection. Okay, look at that. Look at that. How gorgeous. All right, I love it. Love it, love it, love it so far. It's looking absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this all down, and we're going to stop right here for this part of the video because it's already 41 minutes long. All right, so when we come back in part 3, all of this will be glued down and we will continue. So I hope you love what you see so far. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you would choose a different paper, I would love to know as well. But I think we're doing really good with these paper choices right here. All right, so enjoy.